Alright, we're back. Alright, let's see what else is going on here. Had to go talk to my family real quick, just see what's going on. Yeah, I really like this move of Ryan Kelly. I mean, he's going to sit at 9 right here. Perfect. I predicted him to go to the Vikings, and I think I even had the money correct, so it's awesome. Um, see what else is going on. Is there any other news? Darius Slayton, every time we think he's leaving the job. Yeah, so Vikings can save money by cutting Bradbury, and looks like we have something else out of Ian Rappaport, out of Rap Sheet, and it looks like it says Darius Slayton. Every time we think he's leaving the Giants are keeping Darius Slayton. Per me and Mike Garafolo, they've agreed to terms on a 3-year deal worth $36 million, and I don't like that deal, but the Giants probably aren't getting a quarterback, so it's probably what's best for them at this moment in time. Yeah. I'm not sure that they have much of a plan or what they're doing over there. They're just struggling. They're on the struggle bus, and that's just how it is. Um, but yeah, so a day that was pretty uneventful for Vikings fans and others ends up with Colt center Ryan Kelly, and people now wondering is Will Fries coming up, or what's coming up, or what's going on. Let's see if we can get NFL teams by cap space. So let's see if they've updated this at all. I'm not sure they have. Maybe they have. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure really how they're grading this at the moment. Um, but yeah, we're the Vikings are sitting fine. They have more than enough cap space to get what they need done, and I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of today, we see a Jonathan Allen deal done with the Vikings or um, another move for this team to be building in the trenches. Everybody's like, yeah, we're by Garrett Bradbury basically. Um, yeah, market again though is pretty dead at the moment. Just looking at things, you got 6 o'clock here on the Central Time. Not that that usually stops people from making moves. Yep, Gallup visiting with the Commanders. Slayton. Steelers have agreed with Malik Harrison. We went through that one. Cornerback. Mike Jackson. Holy crap. Barton. And then you have the Ryan Kelly deal for 2 years, $18 million. The longest tenured offensive player for the Colts. Kelly has been a stalwart during a career that has seen him named to 4 Pro Bowls, a 2016 first-round pick. Kelly has been a starter for each of his 9 seasons, and I don't see why that would change here in Minnesota. I'm not sure why that would change now, and I like that. I like that 9 million. Just because I want to be me and see um, where I had Ryan Kelly going. Wharton I had going to the Bears. I thought that would have been a good pickup. Boasted to the Niners. Adebo to the Falcons. Didn't even think of the Giants there. Reed I just have going back to the Chiefs. Rico Dowdle, excuse me. Morgan Moses to Titans. I did have the Patriots on there, but Chase Young to the Lions. B.J. Hill to the Packers. Tevin Jenkins to the Cardinals. I could still see that. And I think if I had the contract, I guess 10 mil, not 9. Which, hey, save a mil here, save a mil there. Never know what that adds up to at the end of free agency. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Garrett Bradbury getting cut, and then that creates a couple more, a little bit more cap space for the team now. It basically would allow Ryan Kelly to be, like $6 million this year, if you want to look at it that way. Like you just want to subtract 3 mil from Ryan Kelly, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, nobody I think's really gonna be coming in, talking, asking me questions, but well, we never know. Um, kind of just scrolling on the Twitter machine, seeing if we can get another. See if we can get another move going on here, whether it's Vikings or otherwise. A lot of players left, and I would not mind Asante Samuel. And this is kind of the route I thought the Vikings were going to go. I said this multiple times. I don't think that the Vikings are going to be big spenders. I think they're more going to look at the value options of like the James Daniels, the Jack Masons. I'm not sure Will Fries comes here. I think he's a Patriot still. I think Minnesota then goes after guys like Asante Samuel and some of the cheaper options in the cornerback room. Like if we, like I could still see it maybe a Charles Omenihu deal coming in for Minnesota too at 27.5 years old. Maybe not. He might get a little expensive for him here. But again, I'm still looking at that thinking, hey, this team wants to get better. Like maybe Levi Nuzuriki could be one of those guys that comes in at 4.5, so he's probably gonna end up making like 7 at the way that this market's heady. And I think Jihad Ward's one of those guys that can come back. And again, I want to take a look at a guy like Levi Onwuzurike, and I want to see exactly what he has done with the Lions. Like if, I mean, they have Redmond, who's good at stopping the run, but you need some guys that can get their pass rush. And Onwuzurike would probably be one of those guys in the Vikings. I'd be like, yeah, this guy's just going to be a every down player. He's just going to stay there. But again, I think they need to get a rotation, and I think that's smart, especially on the defensive line. I think a Charles Omenihu deal, who was projected to get more than Tershawn Wharton. Keep that in mind. Wharton wasn't projected to get 18 million, and this guy his run defense is better, and his pass rush is not nearly as good. Maybe that's what's holding his market back is that pass rush, but at the same time, I'm not sure that that's something that I'm too concerned about at this moment in time. Is how much his pass rush is on the defensive interior with a guy like Jalen Redmond, maybe Levi Nuzurike, maybe another guy coming in. Um, and then looking at a guy like Calais Campbell, even I'm not sure where he fits in. I mean, that run defense grade's amazing. Still gets his own pass rush. Could be another nice rotational piece. Looks like we're really lagging. I'm not too sure if this is just because that's just how this computer is right here, if it's just lagging, or if it's me with it looks to be fine. Yeah, I look to be moving fine on this right now. I'm just taking a look real quick. Everything just... I'm not too sure if this is just because that's just how this computer is right here, if it's just lagging. It looks like it's fine, so we're just gonna call it good. Yeah, it's a little behind and lags a little. It's whatever. I'm just happy that we can get this thing rolling a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Darisaw, Brandel, Kelly, Fries, and O'Neal would be beautiful. I actually wouldn't mind if Mac Hollins going to the Patriots. Yes, just what I'm sure all Patriots fans were hoping for. We're trying to get some people in here. Kind of wanted to try to share this with a lot of more people than just nobody, but hey, it's fine. I think that we get a Jonathan Allen. What the heck? Always got to block the bots. You gotta love them. But, yep. Yeah, just looking at this, I'm not sure there's a whole lot. Yeah, looks like we're kind of hitting a break again. Most of these guys probably went out for dinner, whatever. Yeah, Vikings probably are drafting defense, I'd have to guess, in round 1, which is fine. Oh, that's a nice move. Does he spin habit? Matt Collins? No. Alright. Bring us home, Tom Pelissero. Former Rams defensive tackle Michael Holkett is signing with the Bills on a 3-year deal worth up to $24 million. Nice pickup there for the Rams, if I do say so. It is he's a pretty decent player, guy that I would have liked to see the Vikings pick up. Yeah, good run defender, not a great pass rusher. I mean, he's 310, looks yoked. Um, Dude's a beast. I think he'll do well. Yeah, just scrolling, looking at what people are saying. Yeah, there's a lot of day left, and we've been here for a long time. And it's gonna be interesting to see how the rest of today goes because, quite honestly, there's gonna be a lot of time that we're gonna have to spend here. Yeah, kind of just waiting for some deals to come in. Not really anybody here, so it's just me talking to myself yet again. I don't know. I want to take a look at, I guess, the Vikings' new offensive line. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool that I can finally say the Minnesota Vikings center, Ryan Kelly. That's kind of fun. Um, yeah, they upgraded that center by far. I think he's better than Bradbury. Yeah, Ryan Kelly ranked 11th last year. He's getting paid like the 10th best. Sure, he's a little bit older, but 6'4", 307. Bradbury's like 290, I think. Maybe he weighs in at 300. Definitely doesn't play it. Yeah, pass blocking's going to be instrumental this year. The run blocking, depending on what guards you got around you. And I think that's fine. Now, do I want to see Minnesota keep making moves? Hell yes. I mean, I'm seeing some of these tweets and people are saying like, "Hey, I didn't think Ryan Kelly was going to be a member of the Vikings because he sold it." Kind of had an idea. I mean, it makes sense. He's a good player. Minnesota needs one. Um, yeah, I like it. Not sure the Vikings even pivoted. I think they're just looking at all options, and I think Ryan Kelly right now is one of them, and I think he's one of the better one. Yeah, Dan Moore still getting 20 million a year is crazy, crazy. That's like Aaron Banks getting over $20 million for the first 3 years of his contract. Holy smokes! Well, we're still waiting, still watching, waiting for more moves to come on. I mean, we're gonna be here a while, so I hope people come in, try to talk, um, see if we can find something going on around.
Your lucky streak is just beginning.
Ooh. Yeah, I just want to see what they're up to. One bar and Lupagus. Yeah, I mean that's huge, 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 huge. Gotta love that pickup for the Vikings. Gotta love everything about it. I don't see many downsides to it right there. Oh, do we got news? Do we actually have actual news? Probably not. Um, oh, Javonte Williams is signing a 1-year deal with $3 million with the Dallas Cowboys. Wow, I would have taken Javonte Williams on that. Let's get that up here. Tom Pelissero, come on. Here it is. Former Broncos running back Javonte Williams is signing a 1-year, $3 million deal with the Cowboys per source, max 3.5 with incentives. Would be kind of a guy to watch, I think, this season playing for Dallas. If I'm being truthful, I picked him up in fantasy last year, thinking that maybe he could play well, come back from that knee injury, but he did not. He did not play well, and yeah, he didn't rush well. Didn't really do anything well throughout most of the season. He only had 513 yards, 4 touchdowns. Yeah, it wasn't great. Terrible yards per carry. Behind a decent Broncos offensive line too. So I mean, I could see this being kind of a swap here between the Broncos um, and the Cowboys here, because I think Rico Dowdle is out of town now in Dallas with this pickup, and it's kind of interesting to see that yeah, it'll be interesting. I think Dowdle still goes to the Broncos. It kind of makes sense schematically wise, and just in general, the Broncos need a running back. Sean Payton likes to run the ball. Cowboys needed a running back. They got a cheap one. They don't have a ton of money. Again, I still think Stefon Diggs should be in play for the Cowboys here, especially since he's on the Texans, playing in Texas already, coming off an ACL, probably a little bit cheaper than, if we look at the market value of 13.7, not really cheap, but it's cheaper. And I think that Dallas needing another wide receiver is perfect for Diggs, and he might even take a pay cut to go there to play with his younger brother, who he did stay in college longer for to take care of. So there is pros and cons to this. I think they're saving money, obviously, because they don't have the money, and also it's just the Cowboys being the Cowboys. Um, Anything else going on? Nothing. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. Jonathan Allen, still no word on whether he is done with his visit in Minneapolis or what is going on there. Darren Wolfson reported that he was in the meeting, nothing since. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here, because yeah, Jonathan Allen's visit still hasn't ended, so that seems to be a good sign. Maybe there's a deal getting done tonight. His agency is based out of Minneapolis. He's been said to have wanted to be part of the Vikings in the past. Vikings have tried to trade for him. He's wanted to be a part of the team, so it's kind of interesting to see what happens there. You have, again, Darius Slayton re-signing with the Giants on a 3-year 12, which is kind of crazy. Or 3-year 36, $12 million a year. Not sure that's really worth it. Any other stuff that we might have missed? Mac Hollins didn't miss. Gallup meeting with the Commanders. Malik Harrison's not much. Mike Jackson. Barton going to the Titans. Titans kind of disappointing for all the money that they have, but also I'm not really sure many people want to play there, and that's why they're overpaying. Especially for Dan Moore getting $20 million a year, which is insane money for a guy that's not that great. Wharton going to the Panthers, $18 million a year for the next 3, so he's gonna get 54 over 3 is crazy for him. Doesn't stop the run, just rushes the passer. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy looking at all these different contracts, because there's no way that all these teams can continue to pay like this. Like Byron Murphy's supposed to be getting 22 at the beginning of free agency. He's going to be closer to 24, 26. He's going to be getting some starting quarterback money. I'm not sure that that there's much for teams to keep paying out, and I'm not sure Minnesota's going to pay him either, and they're going to look at cheaper options like they have everywhere else. I'm sure that's why they dropped out on Milton Williams. I'm sure that's why if Will Fries keeps probably going up, they're not going to be in on him either. But yeah, just making sure everything's running well. Mike Jackson back to the Panthers. Zach Wilson to the Dolphins. Still not a whole ton coming out. Is there something else? Nope. Yeah, people now clowning on the Giants GM Joe Shane. Signing Saquon Barkley to a 3-year, $38 million deal. He says no to, but signing Darius Slayton to a 3-year, 36. He says yes. Yeah, picking and choosing battles, and I don't know what they're doing out in New York. I don't know why they kept them. I don't know why they weren't more in on Darnold. You have to win. You have to win to stay in, don't you? I mean, oh well. Former Bengals linebacker Akeem Davis Gaither is signing a 2-year deal worth $11 million with the Arizona Cardinals. Not a bad deal for Akeem Davis Gaither. Not a bad deal for the Cardinals either. Big fan of Jonathan Gannon in Arizona and his defense. He does a lot with less. And picking up Josh Sweat today. They have Zaven Collins now. They're bringing in Gaither. They're replacing Kaiser White. Now, their biggest thing needs to be working on that defensive interior and building that offensive line as well to give Kyler time and to be able to run the ball like how they want, control the clock, and run their style of football. But yeah, I mean, kind of waiting for some of these bigger offensive linemen to fall. We're looking for it. We're waiting for it. I'm waiting for you, Will Fries. Waiting for you. Oh, who else? Waiting for Will Fries. We're waiting for Brandon Scherf, James Daniels, Kevin Zeitler, Will Hernandez, Mekhi Becton. So many guys out here that need to get signed yet. Tevin Jenkins. And one of those guys will probably be a Cardinal by the end of the day today. So we'll see. But kind of a slower day, at least free agency wise. Yeah, how is Daniel Jones not chosen a team yet? I thought people said it was between the Colts and the Vikings. It's either you play for one or you play for the other. But who knows? Who knows what's going on? Daniel Jones doesn't want to sign. Now I'm just scrolling, kind of waiting, looking. I mean, Malik Collins could be another nice pickup. Yeah, really nothing right now. Nothing too major going on. Seeing that people still saying that the meeting hasn't ended, so yeah. Just scrolling, looking to see if there's any news. Not really anything. So we're kind of just waiting out the market. Yeah, I'd like to get a Jonathan Allen deal done tonight if I was the Vikings, but that's just me. You at least know that you have somebody on the defensive interior that can get their own pass rush. Oh, Pelissero, what do we got? Nope, Dallas Cowboys have a new running back. Yep, we knew that. So, Yeah, Bradbury's probably out in Minnesota. Can't believe this Jonathan Allen visit's still going. Like it's been going on for a couple hours now. So Quasey's obviously working the phones. O'Connell and the team's probably not. Yeah, I don't know. Um, so Daniel Jones is holding up for agency like he's effing LeBron James, man. Yeah, that's what they say. I guess he's holding up for agency, but no way. I can't believe he'd be the one guy that teams are waiting on. It's the Colts and the Vikings. Can't imagine he's going to garner too big of a deal, and if he is, just pivot. Um, yeah. Kind of just waiting it out. I mean, Quasey's done a good job so far for the Vikings. Isaiah Rodgers was a nice pickup. I liked that. I liked this Ryan Kelly one, obviously, and he's working the cheaper deals. So, I mean, I'm not mad at it. Kind of the margins we thought we were going to be working in, and that's where we're at. Same thing with the Chargers. Chargers are working in the margins. And it could be worse. You could be a fan of a team like the 49ers who haven't done anything today and have just watched guys leave. I mean, they traded away Debo. They've watched their guard walk away. They've watched. I mean, Joey Bosa's literally out there, and it sounds like he wants to be a part of the Niners, and they just aren't making space to sign him. They watched their starting safety walk away. So, I mean, things could always be worse if you're a fan of certain teams. You just have to look at it through a different lens. Um, the Patriots, I mean, man, they've just spent money today and this week, and that's awesome. It's good for them. I mean, you brought in Morgan Moses, you brought in Matt Collins on offense. Now you need to get somebody else on there, and that's where I think Will Fries goes. Still probably the Patriots, but you never know. And then you brought in Milton Williams, Harold Landry, Carlton Davis, Robert Spillane. I mean, that's amazing. That's probably the best team out of free agency today, and I think next year they could basically be one of those teams that runs up and might be runner up in that division, might be third. You never know. I think the Jets are definitely better with Aaron Glenn. I don't know. Not a whole lot of movement though, as I've said multiple times. I mean, Will Fries, Donovan Jackson, this guy has left for the Vikings on the interior. Yeah, I mean, even if the Vikings brought in Will Fries, I'd like Tyler Booker, but also at the same time, I think Shaq Mason and a combination of Shaq Mason with James Daniels would probably be ideal, just because of the fact that they're going to be cheaper options, they're older, and then you can draft a developmental guard. You can still get that nose tackle, and then you might even be able to draft a running back in the first round if you want. You can draft a cornerback, but also, I think by the end of tonight, you're going to have a Byron Murphy deal. I think by the end of tonight, you're going to have a Will Fries deal, and I think by the end of tonight, a lot of these big contracts are going to fall, and a lot of these guys aren't going to want to wait any longer. They're going to be like, hey, I just want to be done. Like, I want my deal. Why? What's the holdup? And I could see even Minnesota working in the margins on a guy like Benjamin St. Juice, who is, I think, like 6'4". He's like 6'4", isn't he? But, yeah. I mean, for teams that can't afford the Byron Murphys, they can't afford these bigger free agents, I'd be looking at these guys like this that are. Now, he sucked last year. That's bad. He's 6'3", 200, though. I mean, he'd probably be a good outside the numbers corner. I mean, put him as part of your rotation if that's what you want. I mean, I'm sure that's what Minnesota's going to have to look at anyway. So, there's not much you can really do with it, but yeah, there's a lot of talent left, and I see people just crying that there's no talent, that our team isn't doing anything. I mean, let these big ones fall, and then let's see what teams do, because there's no way that every team can go out and sign a guy like Carlton Davis to $20 million, or Paulson Adebo to 18, or Nate Hobbs getting 12 is insane. Like, his market was not that robust. It should not have been that robust or should not have garnered that much money. Same thing as Brandon Stevenson or DJ Reed. These guys, like DJ Reed, 16 is a great deal. I think he probably took less to go to Detroit because he's arguably better than Paulson Adebo and Carlton Davis. So he probably could have got more. Jordan Lewis is probably on par. Jacksonville actually did well there. Minnesota did well with Isaiah Rodgers. And I think the Chargers did decent with Dante Jackson. He's not like former Dante Jackson. He had a bad year last year, and I think you take advantage of that. So, but you just need to go and look at like the Jonathan Jones, the Jeff Okudas, the Kendall Fullers. There's a ton of guys out here, the Mike Hiltons. There's Shaq Griffins who played well for the Vikings last year. You have Tre'Davious White, who didn't play great, but Christian Fulton, who had like Eric Stokes, maybe a team wants to try to develop. There's guys here that you can still run with at that position, and they can work into a rotation of guys and can swap in and out depending on who's out there. Like, I don't know. I just think people need to take a back seat, kind of just enjoy the ride of free agency. It's stressful, but it's fun. And there's another one. Take me home, Adam Schefter. The Broncos reached an agreement with linebacker Dre Greenlaw. Per source, Dre Greenlaw now rejoins former 49ers teammate Talanoa Hufanga in Denver. It's a great pickup for the Broncos, in all honesty. It's a nice pickup. I'm not sure that you can really complain too much about a pickup like that. If you're the Broncos, it makes your team a heck of a lot better. Yeah, I mean, here it is. Yeah, Greenlaw. Right away, it's just implemented in, and I like Dre Greenlaw. Run defense great. His pass coverage isn't the best, according to this. I think he's better in pass coverage than that, but yeah, I like Dre Greenlaw. It's going to be interesting to see the deal that he got, but this Denver Broncos defense got better. They kept, DJ Jones, John Franklin Myers, Zach Allen, Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper now. You have Riley Moss and Surtain. Maybe they look for a corner. Maybe they look at receiver in the draft. Maybe they look at tight end. Maybe they look at running back. There's so many ways that team could go still. But again, they have the money, I think, to spend on some of those fringe players. And Dre Greenlaw going to Denver is a pretty big pickup. So I like that for them. I think Dre Greenlaw is a nice pickup for the Broncos. I think he would have been a great pickup for teams like the Texans, the Raiders, all these other teams that have lost guys today and need to fill space. And that's just another person that the Niners have lost. Imagine being a Niners fan today. Like if you're a San Francisco Niners fan, it's probably time to freak out because you've lost a lot of key players and you're coming off of a bad year already. Better hope that a lot of guys are going to step up and make moves and make plays because that team really needs some help. Oh, here it is. Ian Rappaport has the deal. It is 3 years, 35. Not a terrible deal. That's just about 12, so 11 and a half, $12 million a year. That's not a bad deal for Dre Greenlaw. Where does that put him compared to other linebackers? Hopefully it doesn't give me puts him towards the top, puts him by, yeah, I'd say he's comparable to an Azeez Al-Shire and Ernest Jones. I think he's probably a little bit higher than them. Is he on that? Maybe Spillane's probably a little too high here. Matt Milano's probably a little too high. Sherwood's probably a little too high here as well, but I mean, it's not a bad deal. Denver did well there in a market that's been insanely high today. I like what Denver did there. So yeah, that's not bad at all. That's a good deal for the Broncos, and I'm not going to hate on that too much. Still hoping that we get some news on this Jonathan Allen deal, on Jonathan Allen just in general. Love Ryan Kelly. Love what's going on. I mean, yeah, Dre Greenlaw, though, nice pickup there. All right. Who's left in the linebacker market? That might be a market that's kind of dwindling, kind of like the interior defensive line. Yeah, I mean, you got Eric Kendricks, Devondre Campbell, Willie Gay Jr., Devin Bush, Perriman, Walker, Wilson, Barnes. Not a whole lot of solid guys left out there, and that's kind of what's tough is now that you're losing a guy like that, that's what's tough here is you're not going to be able to replace him in free agency unless maybe they bring in like an Eric Kendricks type of player for a season, and even then I'm not sure he replaces the level of player that Dre Greenlaw was. I'm a Greenlaw fan. I like him. I know there's videos that have come out that have shown to sometimes maybe his aggression shows a little too much, or maybe he takes some shots that he shouldn't at times. But again, I think he's a top tier player. So but yeah, yeah. A lot of time left. Oh, the Chargers are pursuing free agent running back Najee Harris and hope to close a deal per the insiders. The deal is not done yet, but potentially, and if all goes well, a big addition for one of the NFL's best rushing attacks. That's what I'm talking about. I called that. I called that. I'm pretty sure. Let's check that. Najee Harris to the Chargers makes all the sense in the world. No, I chose him to go to the Bengals. The Chargers make sense though. Yeah, I definitely could have seen him going. I think it's a 3-year 35 is what I said. It's probably gonna end up being more. It'd probably be more like a 3-year 40 at this point with the way that everything's rolling. And I think I just did to be different. I've chosen him to the Chargers in the past. So I guess I got it wrong, but that does make a ton of sense to watch Najee Harris play for the Chargers this upcoming season, and that is awesome. I would love to see him in that Harbaugh type of system, just rumbling around, knocking guys over. Yeah, there's it'll be an interesting night. We're finally seeing some of these guys come off the board, and I think Najee Harris is probably the running back holding up the running back market at this point. I mean, Samaje P. Ryan going to the Bengals. You have Elijah Mitchell going to the Chiefs. Other than that, we haven't got much news on anybody in the free agent market, and I think Najee Harris is the one holding that up. I mean, you have Javonte Williams now, yes, gone to the Cowboys, but you need Najee Harris to leave first before you can start making moves. So these teams that are looking at running backs can start to pay other running backs like J.K. Dobbins, who's for some reason on Spot React twice. For a team like the Broncos that might want Rico Dowdle, for teams that might want Cam Akers or Kareem Hunt or any of these guys, you need this Najee Harris domino to fall. And for the cornerback market and the guard market, you need now the Byron Murphy domino to fall. Then you need also in that, like I said, in the guard market, you need the Will Fries contract to fall because then it sets that precedent for Kevin Zeitler, for James Daniels, for Brandon Scherf to kind of work off of that because Will Fries, though, doesn't want to be the guy that makes that decision either because what if Mekhi Becton goes and gets more? Then he could have leveraged that. So that's what's happening here. We're kind of in a standstill between these players and the teams where the players are fine holding out. But at some point, I think these teams are just going to have to start going in different directions. They're going to start throwing stupid money. Which, not like they're not already. Because they definitely are. But it's insane to just think that we haven't been able to get Najee Harris off the board yet, of all people. And I'm not sure he's one of those top-tier running backs that needs to fall right away. But in this situation, he is the top running back, and they need him to come off the board so other teams can start to make some moves. Yeah, I'm not. Spot just not updating things right now, so that's fine. But yeah, it. List of who the 49ers have lost so far this free agency: Aaron Banks, Tre'Davious Ward, Funga, Dre Greenlaw, Jalen Moore to the Chiefs, Elijah Mitchell to the Chiefs, and Joshua Dobbs. And then they've traded away Debo Samuel. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know how San Francisco looks in the season. They've done such a terrible job managing this cap space. I know you have great players, but you got to be able to manage the cap. You got to be able to draft well, and I guess they just haven't done that. But yeah, yeah, 49ers, bad situation to be in. Greenlaw gone. No news. Keep hoping to find some. Not finding any. Um, yeah, I like the Drake Greenlaw pickup. Aaron Banks just leaving hurts that team, even though he wasn't great. Let's get some news on this Jonathan Allen front. Yeah, 4 years, $77 million for Aaron Banks. Man, he just hasn't been good in the pass protection or in run. He's a mediocre guard. I can't believe it. That's such a weird spot to be in as a team. Like, man, what are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna pay a mediocre guard $21 million for the next 3 years. That seems like a good idea. I just don't. I just don't think that's the right move. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure this deal is getting finalized. Yeah, pursuing, not finalizing. Some of these accounts, I think they do this intentionally just to mess with people. Um, I gotta go, but I will be back. And when I come back, hopefully there'll be some news. And then when there's news, there's a lot to talk about. So until then, I'll be back. we're back. Sorry about that. Just went to go eat and nothing happened. So we're still here, still waiting, still just hoping that some stuff goes on. I think we're gonna go grab a blanket, a Vikings blanket. Alright, we're back. Yeah, I got a pillow for my back too. It's hard to sit like this. I'm not used to it, so try my best. But yeah, Monday Night Raw is going on tonight. Other things going on. It's kind of cool watching my own stream, but I'm try to get some Hulu up here. Watch some of that. And Joseph Osai is going back to the Bengals on a 1-year, $7 million deal per Rappaport. Not a whole lot there. Cool and all, but like, come on.